You're welcome back, Nigeria. It is indeed time for the newspaper review. Shall we have a look at what today's papers are saying? We begin with the Nation newspaper, some juicy stuff. It says, Presidency, APC slam Atiku over hunger, hardship alarm. This Nigeria paper says, hunger in the land, FG Atiku lock horns. The Platform Times says, Nigeria loses $10 billion annually to post-harvest waste, the minister. Blueprint headline says, The Economist hails CBN's policy as food inflation drops to 21.87%. Team, we can get back into that debate because of today's headlines. The Punch newspaper main headline reads, Farmers fall to federal government's order as agro imports hit 2.2 trillion naira. And in Nigerian News Direct, we have Naira stability, lower energy prices drive Nigeria's inflation downward. Good news. As inflation drops for the 5th consecutive month, hits 20.12%. The Hope newspaper says Nigeria's inflation drops for the 5th consecutive time. Good news all around. And for the Daily Times, it says President Tinubu halts his vacation to stabilize security, review economic policies, presidency. And in Leadership newspaper, it says 2027, the Northern leaders defer with Governor Bago. We saw yesterday Governor Bago came out and endorsed the president. And in Sporting Life, Rogers Iheanacho will shine. I'm going to leave that to you boys.
to him, boy.
To you boys. So now we begin with the Nation newspaper, and it's saying that the Presidency, APC slam Atiku over hunger hardship alarm. We saw former Vice President Atiku come out on social media and in dailies, and he said that, you know, there's hunger crisis in the land, people are suffering. And it reminded me of this quote by Theodore Roosevelt where he said, victory is for those in the battlefield. It's not for those people at the sidelines. It's very easy from the sidelines of the pavilion to say his Achilles heel is weak. It's very easy, but it's the people who are in the presidency right now that are seeing the daily realities. Some people are saying that is Atiku really voicing the realities of the average Nigeria or is he just coming out to oppose the current people in power?
That's right. Start with that simple.
Atiku is doing what he is supposed to do, taking into consideration the fact that we all know that he has presidential ambitions, you know, and right now he's squarely an opposition politician. So, yes, it is expected that statements like that will come out. But for a man that had been vice president of Nigeria before, there are some statements that I don't think he should make. Like when he was talking about revolution and all that. I didn't expect that from him. You want to talk about, is he saying the truth or whatever? We just spoke about food inflation. You know, we just spoke about food inflation. So right now, he will want to say things that the masses will agree with. Whether it rolls well with the administration or not really doesn't matter. What he wants is a lot of ears listening to him.
Absolutely, Ria. A lot of people are saying that you know, the opposition constantly plays politics with the plight of Nigerians. People are saying that Atiku is playing politics with hunger. But shouldn't the presidency, whoever is in power, do everything in their power to make sure that their faults are not being wielded by their opponents? Because whether we like to admit or not, a lot of Nigerians do feel the same as Atiku.
But I tell you something, at the end of the day, like he said, opposition, that's their work. Whatever it is, you do it right, they will say you didn't do it right. And we always said that we're in a democracy, so at the end of the day, people will talk. But for Atiku himself, I want to ask, what did he do, you know, while he was vice president, when we talk about food security and all of that? So there are some statements I do not expect him to make, but he has made the statement, and we know that he's vying for presidency as well. So any little thing they see that is a mistake from this party, that is their selling points. They take it and they pick it up. I wasn't expecting that comment from him as well, knowing that you were vice president, and, you know, in your time, what reforms did you do that up till now we can see them standing the test of time?
In fact, to further buttress what you said, you know, Atiku actually superintended over an economic team where they budgeted, I think, about 16 billion naira is a dollar, you know, to revamping our power sector. Where is the money? That's what the late President Muhammad Buhari asked, that you guys spend this amount of money and we could not even find, not even a wire. that you would say that is you put on the ground. So that's an administration. So it is okay for anyone to criticize this current administration for what they're doing. But what are you criticizing about? Ask the students, especially for those in federal institutions, states run institutions, they are getting NEL fund. This is something that had only happened maybe during the Awolowo of our time.
Yes.
So the administration knows that there is a challenge, or there are challenges. That is why they came with the mantra, the renewed hope agenda. And we are getting to see all of these things. We just talked about the inflationary pressures, which is coming down. So these are some of the things. So it is okay. So anyone who wants to criticize, not people who had been there and now asking people to come and vote for them. We don't need them.
No, he will criticize because he's running for
president. No, you don't understand what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying.
What is the moral justification for your criticism, or what are you basing? What did you do when you had the opportunity?
What if he tells you that, okay, because I was there, I now see clearer? You know what if he tells you?
It's sad. No, it's sad when what you do is not constructive criticism.
Exactly.
You criticize, you propose solution. If, as a patriot, you want this country to move forward, what you need to do, this is bad, why don't you do it this way? But all our politicians, all they say is, it is bad. Even when we see that it is white.
But Ibrahim, they'll tell you that they don't want to tell you what they'll do until they get to power.
Now, team, we did see that the presidency, Bayo Onanuga came out and he said they're proud of their achievements. And he said that Atiku is clearly out of touch with the daily realities of Nigeria and the progress that the presidency has made. But my question is this, and I'll play devil's advocate. Should we be, showing our progress in terms of press statements or policy? I'll leave you with that.
All right, let's go.
I'll leave you team with that. Sorry, just moving on quickly. We have got the blueprint paper. It says the economists hail CBN's policy as food inflation drops to 21.87%. It's consistent with other newspapers this morning as we spoke about food insecurities, conversely or inversely related to food inflation. Team, what are we making of this? We've spoken about the disparity between the daily realities of Nigerians and this figure that CBN is coming out to give us. The realities on ground don't seem to be changing. I've got to say, I miss when the crate of eggs was 3,000 naira.
I'm hoping we can get back there.
We mentioned security being a major thing, and I'm so happy. I was so happy when I read that Mr. President had cut short his vacation to come face security squarely. So now we have a stable naira, and if what Mr. President cut short his vacation for, if he succeeds, or when he succeeds, we're going to have better gains, and Nigerians will start seeing the difference and have more food on their table.
Indeed, Ria.
And maybe when we get to this 3,000 naira egg.
Absolutely. Indeed, Ria. Disinflation is a gradual process, right? We're seeing that this is the 5th consecutive time, according to the MDS, that the inflation rates have dropped. Should the figures not be a bit more encouraging?
No, but you see the thing, in one way or the other, I'll give it to the federal government. They are trying. At least we can see that it's dropping. All I've been crying for is that, we don't just want to hear that it's dropping. We want to see it, in the marketplace. We want to see it when we go out from transportation, not just even food as well. Transportation, people going from one place to another. So it's good, we're getting to read about it, but we want to get to a point that it now reflects in our daily life and we get to see it. So I think that they're doing a fantastic job, but there's more, that can be done.
Yes, absolutely. We're moving on now to the Daily Times, where it says President Tinubu halts vacation to stay. Team, I've got to say, I'm a Yoruba girl. I'm Omolo. I will never open my mouth and say Tinubu. I don't know. I just President Tinubu halts his vacation to stabilize security, review economic policies. We know that the president earlier on this week did go to, I believe it was Paris, France, and now he has paused it. Naysayers will say, why are you traveling out of the country? Now he has come back. A lot of people are saying you use private jet fuel to go and to come back.
No, he would have tried.
I think at the risk of sounding like a sycophant, I think it speaks very well that the president said there are pressing issues on ground and coming back to handle it. Presence in politics is very important, wouldn't you say, Brian?
Absolutely. So when the previous travels that he made, we saw that he went to Brazil, he went to India, went to Japan, he went to different countries, and then he was sealing deals. And then we can see that investors are already showing their body language is showing that they are willing to invest in the Nigerian economy. This last travel is a statutory travel, part of his annual leave, so which is something that is needed. So he felt, okay, I do not want to enjoy my leave because I have a country that needs my attention. So I'm cutting off my leave. So, and if you see it, while he was away, this is a president that while he was away, we see an active vice president. Everyone knows that Kashim Shettima is very eloquent and he's very, up to the task when it comes to it. Well, I still saw a video yesterday, a live telecast yesterday where there were, I can't remember what the program was about, but it's still about the federal government's programs and all of that. So it is okay that the president is coming back to face insecurity, because we need to fight this insecurity to a standstill. It doesn't mean that wherever he is, he can't continue.
And I tell you something, even you can't satisfy human beings, even if you lie down, they say you not lie down flat enough. At the end of the day, he's come back now. We're complaining that why did he come back? I think it's a good one for him to come back, because like you said, presidency, you need to be there when it comes to politics. And he's saying that security is a big problem for us. So I'm glad that he's back.
Absolutely. And team, still on the Daily Times, I wanted to focus on this story. It says, a sub-headline, it says, reviving railways is key to Nigeria's role as Africa's logistics hub, VP Shetima. Now, we are seeing Governor Bago has said, I said this yesterday, that he plans to put a railway line in place that connects between Mina and Abuja, so people can commute freely, work, and it can boost interstate collaboration and travel. These are promises. Railway lines are lofty and hefty projects. I don't want to see promises. I want to see commissionings. We saw what Governor Sanwo-Olu did with the Blue Rail line. Absolutely beautiful. We're seeing how this can impact people's lives. Tell me about these promises. I want to see more.
Yes. First of all, let us understand that traveling by rail is about the cheapest means of travel, and haulage by rail is the most effective, because a train really carries a whole lot, and the rail at which the train moves on is dedicated. No other vehicle uses it, so it lasts longer. So if you have a good rail system, go to Germany for example. Their rail system is top notch, and they do a lot of business haulage of products from one place to the other. So you see, most of the bottlenecks we were talking about earlier on concerning our food, how they move from the farm to the final consumer. If we have a good rail system in place, the rail system alone will cut short like 70% of that. So we really need a rail system.
But we need the rail system. But another thing I want to say is that we should also think about maintenance culture. It's not all about, let's do this, because we've seen so many rail accidents as well. We've seen so many things happen. So in as much as we say we want to do it, let's think about it standing the test of time, and let's think about maintenance culture.
Absolutely. Team, still on Governor Bago and his promised rail line. Moving on. It says 2027, northern leaders differ with Governor Bago. Says politicians from the north have the constitutional right to contest against Tinubu. We never contested that. They do have the constitutional right. Governor Bago was well within his mandate to come out and say, this is who I'm endorsing. I think power should stay here. I don't think they should make this a northern-southern thing. Someone speak to this.
And he also said, I think what the northern leaders are trying to talk about is the fact that he said the north will vote Tinubu. He doesn't speak for the masses, which is vital. Yes, but he is a governor. There are information he has, there are patterns he has seen that the average Nigerian doesn't have the privilege of seeing or knowing. So by his own calculations, he believes, and do remember that we have more active voting happening in the north than any other part of the country. And he is saying that from everything he has seen, his permutations and this and that, the North will vote massively for Tinubu. He has a right to do
Does anybody in power truly, are they able, if we're being honest, based on the precedent of Nigerian politics, to be truly transparent, Ibrahim and Ria, when it comes to speaking on power rotation?
Yeah, politicians are demagogues. And then anything they want to do is all about rhetoric. So whatever it is that they say to the media, I think you use one expression, they're saying that from your mouth to God's ears. So the more they talk about these things, the more it gets subconsciously into the hearts of their followers. So it's like signposting. This is who we are going. This is where we are going. This is our direction. And people will follow, that narrative. So it is an APC northern leader that's also saying, no, listen, the president has just, we can't stop anyone from contesting presidency from the north. Even though we're saying politically we wanted to, still retain in the south for 8 years, because Buhari did 8 years. But people who are interested in this position are saying, no, we also have interest. So it's in the right of Governor Omar Bago to say, yes, this is where we are going. It's another person's right to say, no, we are flocking the other.
Yeah, it's democracy. At the end of the day, nobody's forcing anybody to do anything.
Absolutely, team. I want to take it to more matters on the ground, the realities of Nigeria. And on the Blueprint newspaper, sub-headline, collapsed bridge, 17 wedding guests die as bus plunges into Zamfara River. I constantly speak about this, about the loss of lives. I know that abroad, when you see 1 or 2 people die, it's a big headline, one person confirmed dead. But here it seems like these figures are constantly rising, and it is very worrisome. I worry. I hope at least that when people die like this, there's some sort of salve or infrastructure put in place here to avoid such deaths in the
But what
future.
really happened?
And there was a collapsed bridge, and 17 wedding guests died. The bus plunged into Zamfara River when the bridge collapsed.
And this is what I was talking about.
It's just exactly what you were saying.
I said, maintenance culture as well. When I say that they want to do anything in Nigeria, the headline, all I'm thinking about is like maintenance culture, because you cannot have bridges that are there for like years and you're not checking them. Anything will happen. And that's why I always give the government their accolades when I see them doing 3rd Mainland Bridge. When people are complaining that, they're repairing the bridge, there's going to be a blockage, I'm like, no, let them do it, because if those things happen, it's not the very best. Now, lives are being lost. These people, they're somebody's mother, somebody's sister, somebody's brother. So it's not something we should take lightly.
Absolutely. And team, I know that the other day we saw Minister Dave Umahi, Minister of Works, he came out to say that the Carter Bridge is no longer functional. Should we keep on relying on infrastructure, Ibrahim, to save us? Or should Nigerians, at the risk of sounding insensitive, learn the life skill of swimming, since infrastructure is constantly failing us?
But everybody must know. I feel like every human being must know how to swim.
Absolutely, it's a life skill. At the risk of sounding insensitive.
For everyone, we need to learn self-defense.
Yeah.
Self-defense against, an onslaught that is...
Defensive driving, defensive living, defensive eating.
But because people are on the defensive side whenever they get to Lagos, that's why we have so many mad people, on the roads. But I feel it's very important that we learn how to, ensure personal safety over everything. So whatever it is that we're doing, we should rely on infrastructure that is provided by the government. But what if this infrastructure are not well put by the contractors, they're not using the right materials? That is why QC has to be done. I mean, quality control has to be done on everything they put on the ground. One contractor is doing it. Another person is also auditing how much of money we've spent, and also the engineers that will be doing the QC to ensure that whatever it is that they're putting on the ground is solid.
Very well.
Yes, and Carter Bridge is one of the oldest bridges in Lagos, and I don't think maintenance has been done as it should have been done on that bridge. So I want to commend the Minister for Works for that coming out, for coming out and telling us that, look, Carter Bridge is weak. That means if you are defensive, as Ibrahim said, you will create an alternative route. And forget about Carter Bridge until it's fixed.
Olamide, let me tell you something quickly.
Well said.
And I think that this is where Nigerians should not always, they call it agidi, if I'm correct. They always want to do by force when people say things that are for your betterment. I tell you something, if anything happens to Carter Bridge, do you know the amount of lives that will be lost?
Yes. We want to see, just like the Minister of Works, Dave Umahi, more leaders come out with those preemptive measures and a key focus on maintenance culture. But moving on to sporting life,
what did they have today? I hope they've chosen our headlines.
If you watch us, I'm sorry, I'm going to take the focus away from you and not say anything. I want to focus on Miss Toby Amushan. She won a silver medal yesterday. Fast woman,
didn't complain for nothing.
Fast talker. We saw her clash with the Athletics Federation of Nigeria, and they were saying that she flew business class at her request. She got special treatment. But we're seeing that she's a star.
She's showing the doing.
She is a star, and she won, and she's won a silver medal.
Ibrahim, I don't think we have to say anything. Let the women go ahead and...
Olamide, I'll tell you something about her. I just love the fact that she proves everybody wrong. When everybody was saying, she was choosing luxury, she was choosing... There's no problem with choosing what you feel is best for you. It's about your welfare, it's about your comfort. But I love the fact that she shot all the critics. She has brought it back home. And our females are really doing well. High five, Olamide. High five in the air.
I'm excited that the ladies are doing, they're doing us proud. And I'm also excited that she originated from the same state that I originated from. So this is a lady that's consistently, placed Nigeria on the map, the right map, and then she's been winning, on that winning streak all the time. So, I said it before we came on the air that when you know that you're good, you're good. You demand something that will give you the morale, that will make you consistently deliver on that mandate that you're giving. So we say kudos to you ladies. We say kudos to the Amosun.
We take
I'm so
it.
proud of
Can't take it.
Congratulations. Thank you so much, Shim, for your input. Very well said and well dissected as always. Congratulations, Mr. Amusan. We are rooting for you. Hopefully next time you bring back the gold in first class. That is it for the newspaper review. But please join us after the break as we discuss the recent improvements in electricity distribution across Nigeria and its impact on our citizens. Please stay with us.